Hello guys, DJParson here, and I'm back with the next game of the International Championship. And this is going to be another 3-player game. If you didn't watch the first game, the first one was also 3 players. And yeah, it was really exciting. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't watched it. Definitely check that one out as well. But now let's jump into our second game of 7. And we have another 3-player game. As I said, we have Paulino in yellow, Silent X 111 in green, and then me in blue. And Paulino has the first turn, has a couple of decisions, and he will grab the Acropolis. Let's check out the leaders and wonders. We have a lot of good wonders. So interesting that he takes the Acropolis when we have Colosseum, Roman roads, and the library available. What else do we have? Zizka. There's Sun Tzu for Zizka. We have Joan of Arc and Bach and Malena. That's a good combo. We also have St. Pete's, Imagy Castle, Great Wall. Nostradamus is pretty good in 3-player games, I would say. Columbus, also some synergy with Sun Tzu. And then in H2, yeah, Robespierre, no Napoleon. Overall military actions, there are a few. Actually, there are quite a lot. Colosseum, Joan of Arc, Zizka, Robespierre, and Kremlin, representing some extra MAs. Darwin, Red Teresa, Suez Canal, and Cook, and Columbus. That can be good. The railroad is here as well. And we see what? There is Malena, Bill Gates, Pierre. Yeah, a lot of good leaders. And also the Red Cross Man Project. Okay. So Paulino takes the Acropolis. I mean, he could have gone for Sun Tzu as well. Or the Urban Growth. I think both would have been fine. Silent will just grab the Colosseum. I think I'm fine with that. The problem is that most of the rest of the cards are pretty bad. So I just decided to take three cards. And they all have very or quite low value. Hanging Gardens, Ashoka, and Urban Growth. Not the strongest ones. Urban Growth is fine. But there are 3 civil actions. What else could I have taken? I could have taken Urban Growth and Aristotle maybe. Seeing that there are a lot of good wonders left that might come out. They might also not come out. So that's the problem when we don't take the Hanging Gardens. And we see, yeah, both come out. So sadly, we are stuck with our Hanging Gardens. Paulino still gets Sun Tzu. Interesting. And then we'll go for that. Yeah, I could have also gone for Sun Tzu instead of Ashoka, but I was in a little bit of an Ashoka mood, seeing if I could make that work. Also, I did grab a lot of cards, so the idea was I've also already spent a couple of civil actions, so Ashoka is better with a lot of CAs, and I have spent my civil actions that I needed to grab the Wonder and one Urban Growth, so there's some synergy with that. Then I grab Run Frugality, sadly not producing extra with Ashoka yet. Need one more different colored card, but here they come. Development of Crafts, opened by Paulino. He could finish the Acropolis, but he decides to go for that lab first. And Urban Growth for 2 civil actions. Yeah, a lot of HA cards, and all of them leaders and wonders. He has both of that, so he can't take any of these cards. Silent grabs the early Code of Laws. That's pretty good, especially with the science from Aristotle. I open the Development of Politics. Inhabited Territory and 2 colonization cards. We said there was Suez Canal, so that could have some some nice synergy. So I decide to spend my frugality and grab a rich land, still having 2 different colored cards. So Ashoka will produce extra rocks. But using frugality, yeah, I mean, I'm in the same position. I can't grab library or the Roman roads. I have a wonder. Actually, feels pretty bad. Both of these wonders, probably the best 2 HA wonders in the game. Both are gonna fall off because no one has space to take any of these. Okay, more colonization cards. Development of trade routes opened by Paulino. He will finish the Acropolis. He actually could have gone for Roman roads after all. If he wanted to, he could have grabbed that one as well. Always fun to see 2 HA wonders, but he grabs Bread and Circuses and reveals the first tactic. And there's Zizka actually. Okay, and Silent will not go for Code of Laws first, he will go for the Iron first. But that's a really early Zizka. We have Paulino already having played the Fighting Band and now Silent as well. So there are tactics for Žižka. So, I mean, we might see Žižka from me. There's also Nostradamus, who's a little bit like a counter to that. Let's see, yeah, I do go for Žižka. Build a warrior. And don't play him yet. This way I produce extra food and rocks from Ashoka. So Ashoka's pretty good. He takes a while to come online in H1, but when he's online, when he has 3 different colored cards in hand, he's pretty strong. So yeah, no reason to go for Žižka at the moment. I don't have a tactic for him. Can only copy it next turn, so I think that's a pretty good decision. And getting immigration is pretty good as well with the hanging gardens that we have, so we could definitely play the immigration. Paulino will open development of agriculture, grabs the monarchy that has reduced cost for him because of Acropolis, and then he doesn't want Nostradamus. I think Nostradamus is pretty good in 3 players, but he doesn't want that. Silent decides to go for Nostradamus himself. Irrigation. Can he grab knights? No. I could have maybe taken 1 more science and go for code, but he decides to upgrade iron some more and go for Nostradamus this turn. He has pretty good rock production, pretty early iron is always pretty strong. Development of markets, I probably take the rocks from that and can finish the hanging gardens, giving me extra food. So I have a lot of stuff here. So most important part is not having corruption, but I think I can just avoid that by going for this. And I think I'll keep Ashoka. Yeah, keeping Ashoka 1 more time, or 1 more turn, maybe even 2 more turns. He's doing more than Žižka at the moment. Žižka gives a little bit of strength, which is not too important, hopefully. But he would only give 2 strength anyway, because we don't have the upgraded tactic from Paulino at this point. And he would give culture, sure, but right now 1 rock, 1 food is definitely a lot better. Paulino will open scientific breakthrough, 2 science for all. Okay, and then he goes for knights. Can play new tactics, so he reveals a new tactic. Actually, no one else has knights, right? The other knights have fallen off, so he's in the comfortable position that he has an upgraded Sun Tzu tactic that no one else can go for this moment. Pretty good. Pretty well done. He grabs the engineering genius as well. Then Silent will reveal the strategic territory that Paulino is gonna win. 4 knight and 2 cards. Okay. I mean, yeah, Paulino has a lot of strength now and a lot of potential, especially if he goes for 2 knights, but he doesn't have the population at the moment. And yeah, he's playing against 1 Nostradamus and a Žižka, so his military strength that he's gonna get out of this play, being the only one with the upgraded medieval army, it's gonna be quite hard to use, I think, depending on the events deck, of course. Okay, Silent goes for his Wonder finally. 1 religion and 1 warrior. Getting some strength up. Let's see if I decide to play, but I don't think I do. I will go for the open borders agreement with Silent, so getting more military actions, especially because I plan on copying the tag this turn, so I need all the extra military actions. Yeah, that's what I do. Let's go for swordsman as well. I would like to see the code here. Yes, I do go for the code. And 1 religion. I mean, the religion to get out of corruption. I could build something else and upgrade 1 more warrior. But the extra religion, especially with the immigration, I think the immigration is in here. That's pretty nice. Getting out of corruption is quite important here. So yeah, pretty strong turn, getting a lot of strength, going up to 7 strength, having 3 tactics. So 3 culture production from Žižka because I built an extra mine, an extra farm, and the extra swordsman. So having the tactic 3 times 7 strength, not too bad. And I have a lot of strength cards in hand, so I could play this with a lot of military. Paulino. The problem is, of course, I'm playing against Nostradamus, and yeah, as you said, Paulino in a super strong position. Now he's getting the magic castle as well, so yeah, he's gonna be very strong in the future turns. Silent goes for pact with me, trade routes. He can use food as rocks, and we can use rocks as food. Not the biggest of the pacts, but that's okay. He will grab the Great Wall, which land already has irrigation, okay. But yeah, Great Wall, he has a lot of rocks, so going for Wonder makes a lot of sense. And I play Foray. I mean, Foray makes a lot of sense. Foray is a pretty good card. Silent is not going to be the weakest. Actually, he is the weakest at the moment. But Foray is good for the 2 strongest, and that definitely favors Paulino and me, because Silent is going to rely on his Nostradamus bonus for a little bit. Okay, so border conflict. Okay. So border conflict comes out. Paulino wins, Silent loses. We don't take part in that. That's alright. We go for three swordsmen to get out of corruption. And then alchemy. Relatively late alchemy, but I guess I don't have that much else to do. I don't need the happy face from Brad. I think it's too late for monarchy. And yeah, still getting the science up can be quite good. I need a way to spend some resources somewhere, so I think, yeah, alchemy, relatively late, but can still be quite good. Historic territory is won by Paulino. I didn't want to get that one. It's too expensive. I don't need the happy face. Too expensive for me. And another knight. Oh, knight is quite expensive for Paulino as well. We can immediately rebuild. Grab alchemy as well, so you also on late alchemy too. Can upgrade and finish the Himeji Castle. So 12 strength from him now. Breakthrough and Brand Circus in hand. And that's H1 done, and we're gonna join H2 here. You can see Silent can just finish the Great Wall, go up to 5+3 strength, and can develop his irrigation, not go for it yet. And we could now go for iron. I think we don't have the science. Let's see, I play the Crusades. And we'll open Immigration. And me and Silent do have the most happy faces, so we get 1 extra pop. That's pretty nice. We still have 1 pop, and we're gonna have another one the next food production. So we have quite a lot of population at the moment. Let's see, we can upgrade the next alchemy, can grab iron for next turn. Sure, cannons are quite strong. Pretty late irrigation, a lot of science cards in hand, but with 2 alchemies I think that's fine. And the next turn I could go for iron. I don't think iron is too late. I don't think iron is ever too late. It could be better to get an early coal now, but coals are pretty expensive to upgrade. It's a lot easier with iron and gives you a boost quite sooner than the coal. So I think that's fine. And we get a lot of good tactics, especially the defensive army. We have cannons, we have Zizka. So the defensive army here is actually quite huge. If we get a war with that, we can punish someone. Oh, probably Silent. Call to arms, we draw 1 more card, which is going to be refugees, okay. I mean, in the long run, we can maybe play with this with a lot of military, but we will see. Paulino goes for patriotism for 3 civil actions. Has no interest in any of these technologies, apparently. But likes the patriotism. For the next turn, building 1 extra knight, I guess. Dark Ages, losing 2 science is not too great. I guess we have a lot of production, so maybe it's okay. Cannons and scientific method for Silent. Yeah, he needs science. He has a lot of rocks. That's what he has. So scientific method could be quite good. I decided to play the territory. The vast territory, I think that was. Vast 2. And then there's Foray. That's pretty good. We are pretty poor, so getting 3 extra rocks this turn means we can upgrade 2 iron this turn. That's actually quite big. So yeah, very nice that we get the extra 3 rocks to jumpstart our iron production a little bit sooner. Still no war, sadly. With the war we would have quite the potential. We just need to maybe go for 1 cannon. 1 cannon, play the tactic. That already would be a lot of strength. Cultural influence by Paulino. We are still producing 5, mostly from Zizka. Zizka is going 3 culture for this. Quite nice. Let us jump to Paulino. He goes for, oh, Suez Canal. Yeah, he went for the colonies. He sent 2 knights away for these. And these don't have the highest value, but they will be quite good when there's a Suez Cannon. Apparently he has another territory in hand, and goes for James Watt. James Watt is quite interesting by him. He will have the rock production from his Suez Canal, but I guess he still needs maybe selective breeding, so maybe that's the idea. Silent reveals Crusades. Paulino still the strongest and Silent still the weakest. Nostradamus has not done that much good to Silent. He's still been the weakest by just 1 strength most of the time. And he will go for Newton. Oh, he has a strong Newton turn coming if he wants to. No, he doesn't want to. He wants to build cannons. He doesn't want to be the weakest any longer. He could have gone for scientific method that turn, no? Maybe he's afraid, wants to keep Nostradamus and strength. I mean, yeah, if he had gone for Newton and no cannons, he would have been pretty weak, especially once Nostradamus would have been gone. But this way, his scientific... I don't know, like this. Okay, he has revolutionary ideas, so he can... Yeah, okay, then it's okay. And he can go for scientific method next turn. Okay. Reign of Terror, and I am the weakest. Luckily, I do have some extra spare pop at the moment. Can go for the last iron, 1 opera, the cartography. I don't know, I think the selective breeding here could have been quite interesting. I still need more food. I do have the irrigation, and I'm also not too sure about the cartography. There is a lot of science gone that I could have used for something better. So maybe I would have liked selective breeding this turn more. Or maybe I didn't have the science, but grabbing that one could have been quite good. In general, I am lacking a lot of science, even with the alchemies, because it takes so many science cards that I need to go for still, and that means no government. So yeah, build an extra swordsman to be stronger. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. I need 2 more knights, two cannons, and then I have a pretty strong tactic in the long run. So building the extra swordsman this turn is probably alright. Okay, there's some extra science, so that definitely helps us. Helps the others even more. They get a lot from that. Paulino will finish the Suez Canal and go for the developed territory 1. Not the biggest, but now he has 6 resource production, same as others. And then he can also go for selective breeding, and then probably James Watt, selective breeding next turn. And then later on he can still go for coal with Watt, so he's gonna have a great production. Barbarians, so we lose another population. That's unfortunate, being one of the 2 weakest. If I'd gotten a little bit more strength, maybe I should have played this tactic. That would have made me stronger, would have cost some culture production, but we would have been stronger. Also would have revealed the tactic, which is not something I like too much, but yeah, that hurts. We didn't have the most population, and now we lose 1, and we lost 1 the turn before that. So Silent will go for selective or for scientific method, organized religion, and 1 irrigation. So I still could grab the selective breeding here, but I still think I should probably do that. We will reveal the terrorism, so this turn I cannot go for the opera, so I go for selective breeding. That makes sense, and then upgrade once. Grab Bach and urban growth. Yeah, I mean, Bach makes sense. He saves science on the opera. The urban growth can be used as well to build the operas. So yeah, Bach is an interesting transition. I have a tactic, so I can defend. I have strength. So that's quite nice. I don't know which politics I played, but they have the international trade agreement, or what is it called? International trade agreement. I could have offered that to someone. Maybe extra rocks for me and extra food for Silent. I think that would have been a good trade. Yeah, that would have been... the earlier that you get that, the better. That could be like... Oh, throw it away, really. I don't like that. I should have probably not done that. I don't know. Okay, vast territory is revealed, and Silent will win it for 9+. Has to send away 2 warriors, but has a lot of cards. Rifleman from Paulino, and he does go for what now? And selective breeding 1 and 2. Goes for an extra knight as well. 17 strength from him. And grabs the architecture. Silent will open inhabited territory, another one, and Paulino will win this one for knight. And they had a lot of cards, both of them with 3 H2 defend cards. That means most of them are gone. Said we can't see it here, but yeah, means most of them are gone. And I still have 2 in hand. I guess I have 1 from each 1 in hand. But Silent grabs the Conmon and can go for it with the Revolutionary Idea, as well as grab Frugality, build an extra cannon, and upgrade food. So he gets out of corruption as well. So he's not looking bad, especially with this vast territory. His yellow bank's looking very good. His resource production and science is not looking too bad. 12 strength from each player, 12 strength. And economic progress hits. That is, yeah, relatively equal, but we are the worst one. Yeah, I guess not that equal. I mean, I have the same as Silent, I guess. And then Paulino has even better, because he has water and very good food production, but it's okay. So I decide to reveal the tactic finally, increase population, upgrade as well. I probably should play Bach. No, not Bach yet. I guess I want to be the strongest for the following turns. And after that I can go for Bach. Zhishka is still giving a lot of culture and extra strength now, so yeah, I keep him a little bit longer. And there's the refugees, so that was worth it. I guess I knew that. I played the refugees, I knew they were in this deck, so playing the tactic at that turn made a lot of sense. Getting the extra strength will cost me 1 civil action when Zhishka's gone and I need to play Bach normally. But that's definitely worth it. Winning the refugees is quite good. Getting extra pop, getting the culture. Paulino will go for coal. And an extra army. No, extra 2 knights. 19 strength for him, so now he's the strongest. Silent offers me the scientific operation, but you usually don't want to join the scientific operation with Newton, who has also some good science production. They can spam so many technologies if they are all reduced, especially with his Colosseum. If I'd accepted the pact, he would be at 2 science for riflemen and 2 science for cavalrymen. That would have been a pretty easy develop for him, especially with Newton, not costing any civil actions. And I have some science, but I don't think that would have been enough to make that worth it. So Silent has to go for it normally. Will also build 1 rifleman and another one. Frugalities, 2 frugalities, reserves, and strategy for 1. Not bad. He's setting up a quite a strong late game. With his Great Wall, the Colosseum, and a lot of cannons and a lot of riflemen. If he gets a tactic from H3, and there are a lot of them, if he gets positional army or entrenchments, and then he can also make modern army work, that would be quite strong. That will mean a lot of strength from him. Okay, as I said, we lose Zhishka, we lose the trade routes agreement and the open borders agreement with Silent. And we discard irrigation, but that's no problem. So I can go for Bach now. Bach and cannons. Yeah, I need to build them to fulfill the tactic. And I can destroy 1 farm. I think 2 selective breedings is enough. I don't need the extra agriculture and I don't want to upgrade that. So going for 2 cannons, 27 strength. No military actions left. Yeah, here we see my biggest problem. That is civil and military actions, especially the military actions. And it's not like I have that much science production that I can afford military theories, communism, something like that. So yeah, that is a little bit of a problem here. Division upgrade and cavalryman. Yeah, why not? Crime Wave hits Paulino and Silent. And Polino will go for more coal, military theory, develops that, and increases population. He has way too much food, 18 food for him, that's a lot, but on the other hand, there is the Red Cross, so there's an easy way to spend some extra rocks, extra food, freedom of movement, and he will copy our tactic, build another, oh yeah, 36 strength, goes for strategy, he is strong, can grab a lot of yellow cards as well. Yeah, he is looking dangerous. He's looking super dangerous. Has good resources, good science. Cold War, at least we get some extra science. That's very good. And then we can get the culture going. Building one opera, upgrading the alchemy to the opera. And I will get the military theory, and I can go for it in 2 turns. I mean, it's a little bit desperate building the alchemy into the opera, but I need the happy faces, and I guess my idea is that I get culture production now and then try to survive. Sadly, there's no Gandhi, and even Gandhi maybe not enough to defend against Silent. He has so many military actions. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a problem. I guess I could have skipped the upgrade and keep some science, go for military theory. But yeah, we are in trouble. Polino will open arms industry. Yeah, he gets Silent gets 4 rocks. The rest of us get 2 rocks. Polino can go for some happy faces. Grab the project. Build more warriors. I mean, his army is not that inefficient. Medieval army upgraded is not a super bad tactic. It can definitely compete with defensive army. What it can't compete with is H3 tactics. So once Silent gets one of those in his hand, that's where the trouble really starts. Because he has them fulfilled already. He has riflemen and cannons. And well, I have swordsmen and cannons, so my road to the H3 tactics not that easy. And then Polino's, yeah, he has riflemen at least, but H3 tactics also need cavalrymen and not knights. So that's his biggest problem. So it makes sense to grab the project. He has a lot of rocks. That's a good way to get some extra strength. And there's the first war. Silent going for the war with air forces. 1 air force, 50 strength. Reserves. Yeah. In the beginning it looked like Silent was not doing that good, but he got a super early iron and he really made that work. And he maybe didn't lose that much either. He wasn't part of the foray and he lost some other things where Nostradamus didn't do that much, but he didn't get any aggressions. There was no war. He wasn't punished like that. I think if we had gotten a war earlier in H2 and used Jeshka, there could have been potential, but Silent wasn't really that much punished for his play. Got a super early iron and really got a lot out of that, I feel. And now he's playing this really well as well, too. Has 2 military wonders, goes for super efficient military. And yeah, I'll go for cannon. Military build-up, super important. And 1 revolutionary idea, but yeah, no way to win this war. So concentrate on the next one maybe. Or just become less of a good target for Silent. So Silent can go for another war. Let's hope he goes against Polino and not me. Which he might do. I mean, I still will have more culture than Polino probably after the war. And Polino does have the project. But we'll see. We'll see what the Silent does afterwards. Iconoclasm. Watt gone, Newton gone, Bach gone. I guess it's the best for Polino, so he probably played that. It's not that great for Silent, but he also has a lot of... I think it's the worst for us. Silent has a lot of civil actions. He doesn't need Newton that much. And we lost 4 culture production. I mean, yeah, it's still manageable, I guess. So Polino will go for rockets. Builds probably 2 rockets now. Yeah, 2 rockets, 39 strength. So yeah, I think if Silent has to decide for another war, he will not go against Polino. He would go against us. No, he does go against Polino. Okay. Maybe he just wants to be fair. I mean, at this point, I mean, at this point, me and Paulino have the same culture. If he's not careful, because he's not producing that much, if he's not careful and only beats me, that there might be a way where Paulino also goes for war against me, and then there's a race between Silent and Paulino. I think Silent will be able to beat Paulino in the next war, and then like that, like in this war, and then he will make that decision worth it. Oh, he goes for 2 armies with air forces and the Great Wall, 95 strength, and we're at the middle of H3. That's impressive. Yeah, this is the, I think, one punch man type of play. Fabian called it like that, where you just go for the super big army. In 1 vs 1 you only need 1 war most of the time. In 3-player game he has 2 wars, 1 against me, 1 against Paulino, and that war will hurt. So yeah, with 95 strength he can choose which one of us he wants to beat. And I think at this point it might make sense. He went with the first one against us, the second one against Paulino, just to make sure that he will be the winner. I go for Marlene, 1 swordsman, so I'll just have to be careful that I can beat Paulino. If he goes for a war against me, that could be quite bad. If he has a war, goes for that, and then he's in a very good position. Maybe not in the best position, but he needs to defend anyway. So if he's also able to use that defending in a war against me, that would be very bad, very bad for me. So we'll see. So yeah, that's why I still need to go for full strength. That's what I do. Paulino plays politics, strategic territory, and I'm able to win it. Silent needs his full army, so he's not bidding. Paulino also needs to defend, so he can't bid that much, and I get it for one single swordsman, so pretty good. Paulino can go for a tactic, but it will be outdated. Modern army. He's fulfilling it once, outdated, but can get probably 2 air forces. Yeah, 67. It's not bad. It's not a bad war. I think that's defending with more than I could, especially with the Himeji Castle. But still, maybe not the worst decision from Silent, because yeah, if Paulino had played a war, if he had the military actions, and there's still time, so he can still go for war against me. And if Silent doesn't have another war after this one, I think it makes sense to split these up. So yeah, stealing 33 culture from Paulino, and he will open the politics of strength. So if he didn't have war now, maybe he has redrawn a war. Can go for steep jobs and oil, delayed oil, but has an efficient upgrade, so he can go for it. 1 more efficient upgrade and reserves. Still with that 95 strength. Okay, popularization of science opened by me 2, 2, and 6. So Silent is going to win this game. That's pretty clear. 1, 11. I mean, still have good production. If Silent misses out on his military card draw, if there's no war from Paulino and Silent in this game, no aggressions from Silent against me, there might be a way where I come back, or where I beat Silent still, because he's not producing that much. He does have Steve Jobs, but we are at 10 culture production and not that far behind. Okay, so I decide to go for Cavalryman and another one. Yeah, just make sure that I have as much strength as possible. With the military build-up and reserves, I'm still relatively well secured. If I really need to, I can get a lot of resources, destroy everything, and go for some armies. So yeah, luckily I do have that military theory that I can use to go for a lot of units, that I can build a lot of units. Paulino does go for war against me. Okay, so that's part of the plan not fulfilled. He will just finish the main project. 80 strength from him. Okay, Silent goes for aggression. So I said, if there's no wars, no aggressions, I might come back. Now I think that's definitely not gonna happen. Silent steals 7 culture from me. Goes for Empire State, upgrading 1 more coal, oil, patriotism, 2 patriotisms, okay. And then let's see, can I play politics? There's still H2 cards, one H2 card that could help. I decide to not play politics. Go for one cannon, one more cannon, and one cavalryman. So 72 strength. Pro sports and hand just to develop something. Maybe use the input of technology. Age is gonna be over. So no more wars finally. So very messy endgame, very military heavy endgame. And super close as well. He steals 18 from me. Is at 65 to 68. Will open international agreement. Silent can maybe use that. We'll go for Pierre, but he won't get the Olympic Games. That hurts, not getting the Olympic Games, but get some culture from that. And it's gone up to 82 strength. Silent does go for an aggression, but not against me, against Paulino. I remember in the game, Paulino was not amused by the decision. He said he felt like that wasn't a good decision by Silent. Maybe we can talk about that together. I mean, it's pretty clear Silent is going to win. So the decision where to put the aggression. Silent said that his decision was because he played one war against me, one war against Paulino, one aggression against me, and one aggression against Paulino, so he just made it fair. Understandable reasoning. I mean, I'm glad, but of course there's a much higher chance that he wins the aggression against me. I think if there was the same chance, then it would have made a lot of sense to say make it fair, but he didn't win the aggression because Paulino could defend, and that wasn't that unlikely. I don't know. It's always a tough decision. When you're the first and you know that you win, what do you do with your politics action? Do you influence the game? And he decides to not go aggression against me, and that would have been safe. He could have just not played an aggression or just played an impact, but impact also. There's always going to be impact that favor me or Paulino more. So it's always a tough decision, and it's a free choice. There's no rules where you have to put those. So that's completely up to him. Silent will go for the Empire State Building for 16. And that's his turn. 98 strength from him. And now it's my last turn. A bit of competition, that's gonna be quite big. I feel 17, 22, and 20. So yeah, this is gonna be a race for position 2 between me and Paulino. Silent is out of reach with his 170. I can destroy a swordsman or 2. Competition is out, so I can destroy all of these. Build 1 religion and one philosophy, I guess, for balance, but balance isn't favored by this. Maybe I don't know which ones are in. Why the philosophy? Balance is bad because iron. I guess you have more than Paulino. If Silent has played input of science, then I have more than Paulino. That could be important. So maybe better than 1 extra religion. So yeah, I guess that's the reasoning. And then develop, but don't do anything else. And let's see. Quite close. 101, 94 before impacts. He makes two closer to us with the input of progress. So 111 to 106. We get the balance. 4, 4, 4. Yeah, a lot of things were destroyed in the end with the wars. I mean, we had 3 war over cultures and a lot of aggressions. Population 12, 16, and 16. Still super close. 5 difference. Government 21. I'm pretty bad in government. 15, 18. So 146 to 144. And then the last impact is gonna be science. So the lab saved us here. Very well done, DJParson, that you built that extra lab. I didn't understand it at the beginning, but now I do. So yeah, that was quite important. That probably was played by Silent a lot earlier, but yeah. So congratulations to Silent. Really well played, really well set up from the beginning. Going for the early iron, and then yeah, He didn't get any culture production from the, I mean, I don't think he went higher than 2 culture production at all this game. He relied completely on his wars, but it turned out quite nicely. He was able to pull off 2 great wars, perfect setup with the Great Wall, Colosseum, and the Great Army. Also skipping everything else, basically. He didn't need anything else besides that. Didn't need any H1 military technologies. Complete efficiency by him. At the beginning being a little bit weaker, but not being punished too much for that. So really well played. Super close between me and Paulino. Could have been a lot different. But even if Silent would have gone against the gone for the aggression against me in the end there, we would have lost 7 culture, and that still would have made us win this over Paulino. So there's that. So this is game number 2, 3-player game again. So 2 of the 3-player games are finished. Both of them I've made the 2nd place. Not too happy, but in this game I think I have to be lucky. I have to be happy that I got the 2nd position. There was no way reaching up to Silent in this one in the end. So glad I got those puntos. They will hopefully help. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the game. I think the next one that's gonna come might be the first 4-player game next week, but yeah, find out next week. So, hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you for the next one. Bye, guys.